He had been told that he had to go into a pretty serious surgical procedure where they were concerned about his ability to make it through. He had to prepare his family that he may not come out on the other side of that.
He called me and asked if I'd be a pallbearer if it went south, and that's what kind of really hit me. A lot of emotions obviously running through. I mean, he's not just a goalie coach to me, he's family.
The first thing he tells me is, I'm not afraid. My life has been a terrific life. I have a terrific family. I have a terrific work family. If this is how it goes, this is how it goes. And I remember like just being in tears on the phone, hearing the strength in him. I hung up the phone and said, there's no way he doesn't beat it. There's no way he doesn't beat it.
When I joined the Ducks, we had two young goalies in Frederick Anderson and John Gibson in the minors. And it was my job to help those guys hopefully get to the NHL.
Here we are 9 or 10 years later.
Say, Gib, way to take your stick.
He's been around my kids, he's been around my family, my wedding and everything. Awesome guy.
Switch it up. Let's go, Dust.
First time I ever met him was NHL Combine. Then I was drafted by Anaheim, thanks to him.
I was one of the last few goalie coaches that wasn't there every day. I was in Anaheim between 21 and 24 days a month. Halloween has always been a big event in the house. I tried my best every year during the season to be home for Halloween.
He'd be kind of in and out during the school year. He's worked in hockey since I was 3 years old, so neither of us know any different.
I grew up playing hockey. I asked if I could be a goalie. It's something that always I felt helped me feel connected to him when he was away.
You do find your stride and you find your rhythm. We had our routine, we knew what was gonna happen. You know, during hockey season, we'd have one routine, during the summer, we'd have another.
February of 2023, I was on a scouting trip and I started to feel this burning in my stomach, and I thought I had an upset stomach. I came back home and the upset stomach went away. The end of that 23 season, I felt like I had an ulcer. I was certain I had an ulcer. And I remember standing in the dressing room talking to John Gibson, and I said, the season's almost over. I'm gonna go back home. I think I've got an ulcer. And he was sort of concerned, and he said, really, you gotta get that checked out? And I thought, yeah, I'll take a look at that when I get home. My diagnosis was pancreatic cancer.
The pancreas is an organ deep in your abdomen that is responsible for helping your body digest food and manage sugar, so it makes insulin.
On my 22nd birthday, I just remember like looking down at my cupcake with the 22 on it and just looking at my mom, my dad, my sister, and I was like, oh, I really hope this isn't the last birthday that I get to spend with them.
My grandma passed away for pancreatic cancer. Usually the prognosis, if you don't catch it early, are very low to survive it.
Because the symptoms are vague, most people with pancreatic cancer, when they are diagnosed, the cancer has already spread to other organs. We would like more patients to be diagnosed earlier in the disease because then it can be surgically treated. And for patients who can have their tumor removed surgically, they're going to do better.
The aim was to try to do 6 rounds of chemo, followed by the surgery, followed by 6 more rounds of chemo.
5 months in, we were sitting at the dining table having dinner, and that's when it really hit me, when he had like one bite of food and then immediately just said, I can't do this anymore, after he already lost like 30, 40 pounds.
Just trying to keep food down and you know, throwing up after eating and all of those things was incredibly taxing. There were some tough days, but every morning I got up and I came downstairs and I sat on the chair down here and I stared at the wall. It just didn't seem right staying in bed all day.
You feel helpless because you really can't do a lot other than try and make them as comfortable as you can.
Prior to the surgery, There was a prognosis that potentially, because of some other health conditions, that I may pass on the table. What was really important to me at that time with the kids was, you know, we set about planning my funeral. Watching the impact it had on my daughters was tough, but
it was obviously a really hard conversation to have.
I got on the phone and I called all the pallbearers. I remember calling John Gibson and hearing in his voice, like he couldn't believe that he was having this conversation.
When you kind of hear that, you just want to talk to him and just never really hang up the phone.
The only person allowed to tape my goalie sticks is my dad. So he made sure the night before to go in the garage and tape all 3 of my sticks for me. And that was the part that hit me too, where I was like, oh, he thinks, you know, this could be quite serious.
We had to be at the hospital early in the morning. The surgery was supposed to take maybe 5 hours, I believe. And the surgeon said, I will come to the cafeteria and find you there after the surgery. After about 3.5 hours, I see him walking across and I thought, oh, this can't be good. Anyways, we met, he talked, he said, everything went beautifully. It was a good day.
You started to realize that, hey, hang on a second here. There's good things potentially ahead.
Here, boys.
Wonderful feeling to just walk back in that room.
I look at Sudsie and I'm like, oh my God, Suds, like, is that you? That's not really the words, how I can like describe it, just pure happiness.
It's amazing what can happen when you focus on beating the odds. I was told when I got diagnosed that I had a 20 to 40% survival chance. 20 to 40%. Here I am.
Typical Sudsie, he's making everybody else feel better.
Keep believing in yourselves, keep believing in your teammates.
It was nothing short of inspiring.
Thanks, guys.
A healthy person has a blood antigen score of 35 or less. And when I was diagnosed, my score was 1,472. And after the surgery, it fell into the 700s. And then I went and I did the test one day, and the doctor told me my score had fallen under 30. It was a great moment for all of us.
It didn't feel real until he was ringing the bell.
I saw the oncologist yesterday, and I was declared cancer-free.
We needed something symbolic, just for us.
A year of this that felt like a lifetime now just is, it's over with and we can get back on track and get back to what we all want to do and have a healthy dad again.
All right, Gib, so he can shoot or pass.
Now that I'm the director of goaltending with the Ducks, I'm still continuing to keep an eye out for the next generation of goalies for Anaheim. It's a great opportunity to work with the young guys and hopefully help them progress so we can get another 2 up to the NHL level.
Good job.
I have his old cell phone number. And the day the statement was released of my dad being diagnosed, I received over 200 text messages from people, you know, thinking I'm him, saying, I just heard what happened, let me know if I can do anything. So I'm getting text messages from these Hall of Fame hockey players and people from his past. And I was like, if I'm getting this many messages, I can't imagine, you know, how much support my dad himself is feeling. Unbelievably overwhelming. I think it was the thing that got us all through it.